Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, October 16th, 2024, and we are having a short lecture today to get back on track after midterms. So the first thing I would like to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to take a look at our Moodle page because there are a couple of things that I want to go through with you. The first is I've opened up this week's worth of work, which is right here. And as you can see, we had no class or lab on Monday because of fall break, but now we are back on track. The lesson for this week is to do Excel chapter 3 and then to submit it by this Friday, and that would be the deadline. So far, that means we've done Excel chapters 1, 2, and 3, plus we've done the work from MATLAB that we started the semester with. Now, as far as your midterm grades, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. And one of them is how you're going to submit these things. Some of you have submitted Excel spreadsheets using PDF, and that is not acceptable. I can't grade them. I can't see what is going on in the formulas. So it's really important that when you submit an Excel spreadsheet, that you submit it as an XLS or SLSX format. So let me just show you a little bit what I'm talking about. The first thing I'm going to do is to, let's see, share my screen. So I'm going to pull up an Excel spreadsheet, and then I will attempt to show you how it is that we're going to access that. All right, so let's see here. Coming over here, I'm going to share my screen so we can look at the Excel spreadsheet. Okay. What I mean by that is if you submit it as a PDF, let me show you. So let's just say add two numbers. If you were putting in a formula, if you were to take the content of this cell, which would be A2, and put in the number 3, and then underneath it, you wanted to say, I want to take the cell A2, which is the one above it, and add to that 2. And then underneath it, I want to copy those cells all the way down. All right. If you submit it as a PDF file, this is all I see is these numbers. So I really don't know if you've put in the formula, if you've put in the correct formula, or if you've just gone off spreadsheet and just entered some numbers. So if you look up here in the bar, you'll see that the formula in the formula bar exists. So instead of saying the number 5, which is what's displayed here, it tells me that this cell content is the cell A2 plus 2. And that's what I'm grading you on. So that's why I cannot accept a PDF or any sort of they call it a flat file of Excel. You have to submit it as an Excel or an XLS file. All right. So this brings us to another point. If you take a look at this screen, sometimes it can be confusing as to where you're going to be saving these things or if you can find them again. So you need to be careful when you go back and you take a look at the spreadsheet and you go down to the ribbon Save or Save As. I would choose Save As so that you know where you're putting it. But you'll see, for example, here that Excel is defaulting to me saving it to OneDrive. Now, can you retrieve it from there? Well, I don't know. If you can, go right ahead. But what I prefer that you do is to, for example, browse where you're going to save that. And then maybe you could save it here in the Documents subfolder or maybe on your desktop. And then you would save this as like Homework Chapter 3 or whatever it turns out to be. So then when you want to submit through Moodle, you have access to that. And the way you have access, I saved it to the desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to my desktop and take a look and see if it got saved there, because sometimes it will not. So let's come over here to my course page, to our Moodle page. So we'll go ahead and share the Moodle page. All right. And so then when it's time to submit that, it says submit no later than Friday, October 18th, right? And so then I can come down here, I'm in teacher mode, so it's not gonna let me, it's not gonna show me what you show. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna switch my role to a student role, right? And then when I look at this course, what I'll see is when I click the submit no later than button, it will come down here and it says add submission. And then you want to come up here to files and you want to choose that file from, in my case, the desktop. All right. So you'll see I have these files, and if you've saved it properly, like right here, homework chapter 3, I can then choose that file, double click, and upload this file. All right, so that's how I need to see it. Then, of course, you would save changes. I'm not going to do that because I don't really have a student account, but I want to show you how that works. So what I really just needed to show you today is you have to save your files to the proper format, and then you have to submit them through Moodle. Otherwise, I may not see them. So the other thing is, anything that you have a 0 on, it generally means that I have not been able to access that file. It's quite unusual that a person would turn in a workable file and get a 0. So if you have a 0, please read the comments, and it will say something like, you submitted a PDF file, I can't read it, or there's no submission. You can go back and resubmit. Even though the due dates are past, please resubmit those files, and then you will get credit for what you have done. All right, so that's it for today. At the end of this week, I will grade the chapter 3 homework, and next week we will proceed on to chapter 4. And we will meet next Monday, which is the October 21st. We'll meet for both lecture and lab, and I will look forward to seeing you at that time. Have a great day today.